Hello everyone and welcome to Anything Geek. My name is Zero and this is part 2 of the OP05 breakdown. So if you haven't seen the previous part yet, I suggest go check it out. We break down all the red cards in the set and now we're gonna move on to green and break all the cards down and give you guys a closer look at OP05 and what's coming in the set. And of course, as usual, the first card of any color in any set is always a leader, except when there's none. So the first card we're gonna talk about in this video is gonna be Don Quixote Rocinante, dual color leader, so 5 life, you know the drill by now, and a very interesting leader. So we're gonna talk about this a bit because he's a blocker on a leader. So usually when you play, you have blockers on the field to protect your leader from getting hit, but now it's the leader that's doing the blocking, so your board doesn't get hit. My brain is hurting. And also at the end of your turn, if your hand has 6 cards or less, you can set this leader as active. Clearly here the deal is you want to attack with that leader and make sure you have 6 or less cards, so you can restand it and use it as a blocker. But if you do, make sure you have enough counter not to just tap out all your life. And make sure you only protect key targets on your board. But I mean, it's a green and blue leader, so you have access to a lot of stuff. You have the rest engine of green, you have the control of blue. That's promising something. And next card is gonna be Virgo, 3 cost, 4000 power with a counter of 1000. The next one, when attacking, you can KO up to one of your opponent's rested character with a cost of 3 or less. Very good, very nice. You need to rest your opponent's board and then you're opening up the green play like crazy. You can do a ton of stuff. Then we have Kiwin, 2 cost, 2000 power, counter of 1000, and it's just a blocker. A 2 cost blocker. Make sure this doesn't get rested. And then we have a 5 cost 6000 power Gladius with a counter of 1000. Activate main, you may rest this character and you can rest up to one of your opponent's character with a cost of 3 or less. Pair that with Virgo, there you have it. Rest and KO. We then have Sarkis, 4 cost 4000 power, counter 1000. The next one, when attacking once per turn, you may rest one of your opponent's character that costs 3 or more and you can set this character as active. And this allows you to be very aggressive on the board because you restand, and we already know that's good because any Don you've attached to a character stays attached if you restand. So you can like set up a big attack at 7k by giving him 3 Don, and then you can restand. So you get 2 7k attacks on the same turn. That's a huge deal. Then we have for 1 cost and 2k power with a counter of 1000, Trafalgar Law, activate main, you may trash this character and you can rest up to one of your opponent's character with a cost of 3 or less. Again, rest engine, we know it's good, we know it's useful. You might want to take advantage of this as much as you can when you play green. Then we have Don Quixote do Flamingo, the little kid one, 1 cost, 2000 power with a counter of 1000. Activate main, you may place this character in your trash and you can KO up to one of your opponent's rested character with a cost of 2 or less. Again, rest, KO. That's all there is to it. The next card is actually gonna be Doflamingo when he's an adult, 7 cost, 8000 power. On the opponent's attack, so that's not when you attack, when your opponent is attacking, once per turn you need to pay 1, you can rest up to one of your opponent's character with a cost of 6 or less. So this is kind of like a counter that you can use to prevent your opponent from using his full power during a single turn. Next we have Don Quixote Rocinante, 2 cost, 1000 power, counter 1000, it's a blocker, and an effect that's during your opponent's turn, if one of your other rested character would be KO'd, you can instead trash this character. So let's say you block something and he's still alive, you can actually trash him instead of KOing another character. So that's kind of 2 blocks in one. Next we have Buffalo, 3 cost, 4000 power with a counter of 1000, and when attacking once per turn, if 2 or more of your character are rested, you may set up to one of your cost 1 character as active. This can possibly help you recycle some effect like when attacking or activate main that rest your character. For instance, Jewelry Bonnie, you have to tap her in order to get the effect, also pay 1 done, but Buffalo can restand her, so you can basically have 2 searcher in a single turn with only 1 card. This might be worth a think about it. And next card is gonna be the first SR for green, and it's gonna be Pika. 4 cost, 6000 power. End of your turn, for 1 cost, you can set this character as active. That's very good. That's very nice. And also a once per turn effect. If this character would be KO'd, you may instead rest up to one of your other 3 cost or more character not named Pika. So it's got a lot of staying power, and you can basically prevent your opponent from targeting this card if he doesn't have a rest engine, because you're gonna be active on your opponent's turn, so Pika is gonna be untargetable unless he has like big removal effect, KO effect, or KO or blue bounce effect to bounce back Pika in your hands or your deck. Next we have Baby 5, 1 cost, 1000 power with a counter of 1000. Activate main for 1. You may rest this card and play up to 1 Don Quixote Pirate character with a cost of 2 or less from your hand. So with her you can start playing a bit higher cost by paying a lower cost up front, but we also have the adult version of Baby 5, which is a 1 cost 1000 character with a counter of 1000 and activate main for 1 cost. You may rest this character and look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with the Don Quixote Pirate type and add it to your hand. Then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's a nice searcher, just like Bonnie from the starter deck too. Next we have a Vanilla, 3 cost, 5000 with a counter of 1000, Bellamy from the Don Quixote Pirate. We then have Monet, 3 cost, 1000 power and a counter of 1000, Blocker, and an effect that when blocking you can rest up to one of your opponent's character with a cost of 4 or less. So that's very good to kind of board control with the rest engine. You just have to play this right when there is actually a target for Monet to rest when you block. And we have the first event now, which is a 0 cost, whoever wins this war becomes justice. It's a counter that you may trash 1 card from your hand and your leader or one of your character gets plus 3000 during this battle, and a trigger that you can rest an opponent's character with a cost of 4 or less. I think it's a good event. You have a good trigger on this. It's a 0 cost, so you have to trash a card from your hands, but this means that you're never left stranding with these cards, and 3k power to defend is kind of the baseline that we have, so I can see this being a very good card in a green deck. We also have a 2 cost, which is Charleston, and it's a counter that up to one of your leader or character gains plus 4000 power during this battle, and then you may discard a card, and if you do discard a card, you can sub to 3 of your Don as active. That is very good defensively. It only costs 2, so you restand 3 Don. If you have another one in your hand, you possibly can play this right after if you need to defend against another attack, and also has a trigger. You can rest up to one of your opponent's leader or character with a cost of 3 or less. So if your opponent is very careful not to tap any of his utility cards that he needs on the board, you can rest them for him and then just clear the board. I think this definitely has a place in a Don Quixote Pirate deck. And then we have a 2 cost event, which is a counter, Betha Bethon Meteora. It's up to one of your leader or character gain plus 4000 power during this battle, and then you can KO up to one of your opponent's rested character with a cost of 3 or less. Also has a trigger, KO up to one of your opponent's character with a cost of 5 or less. And I'd rather have the trigger for this one, honestly. So the main effect, I don't think it's that good, but the trigger saves it, and if you get this from a trigger, you can get a ton of value from it. And the very last cards for green in OP05 is gonna be Birdcage, the stage for green. We have a 5-cost stage, and if your leader is Don Quixote do Flamingo, all character with a cost of 5 or less will not become active during both players' refresh phase. And at the end of your turn, if you have 10 Don cards on your field, you can KO all rested character with a cost of 5 or less, and then you can trash this stage. The effect is insane, and it's so like out there that when you see it, that's kind of how I feel when I see such effect that is very like weird and kind of funky like that. I want to build around it and use the effect. I don't know if I'm the only one, but still. Also, it seems that like the end condition for this card is that you have 10 Don cards, and so it kind of KOs the 5 costs or less on the board, and it just says that 5 costs or less will not become active during each player's refresh phase, so you can play new 5 costs or lower and let them active, and they're not gonna be targeted by the effect. But since the end condition is that you have 10 Don, I think this can run indefinitely on the board. Wait. We have a green-purple Dofi. So if you time this right and you Don minus... Wait, can this run like forever? And any 5 cost becomes single use? What? Theory crafting, that's not for this video. Let's wrap this up. There you go, guys, all the green cards for OP05. As always, I got some cards that I like. The leader, for one, very nice. A blocker effect on a leader. I want to try this, and I want to try to exploit that. Birdcage also, it seems like very cool effect to play around with also. But what was your favorite? Leave me that in the comment section below. Or maybe you're not interested in greed. Leave me which color you prefer in OP05. Also make sure you check out the previous part so you know which cards are in the entire set. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you're still here, that means the video was at the very least entertaining to you, so please leave a like. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to never miss anything geek. Bye guys.